You know that feeling when you're at Ross and you find the best gifts for way less? Like brand name sweaters, the coolest kids' toys, and plush dog beds? Get that feeling with every gift and save 20 to 60% off other retailers' prices. At Ross, yes, for less.
Botox Cosmetic, out of botulinum toxin A, FDA approved for over 20 years. So, talk to your specialist to see if Botox Cosmetic is right for you.
For full prescribing information, including boxed warning, visit BotoxCosmetic.com or call 877-351-0300.
Remember to ask for Botox Cosmetic by name. To see for yourself and learn more, visit BotoxCosmetic.com. That's BotoxCosmetic.com.
Hi, everybody, and welcome to the Dr. Psych Mom Show. Today, I am going to be talking about something that a lot of people wonder about, which is whether you should wait for the perfect partner or whether you should kind of settle for a good enough partner and what that means and what that looks like. And I will talk about that now. As soon as I tell you to subscribe, most recent subscriber episode was on saying, I am what I am. I am this way. This is how I am. And whether or not that is an appropriate sort of thing to say in any arena romantically toward your partner. That's the most recent subscriber episode, but there's over 180 other subscriber episodes if you pay your $8.99 a month. Very, very good deal, in my opinion. Okay, so anyway, there's, in my Facebook secret group, which you all should join, there's a link in the episode description. People talk about things all the time, and there's this idea, a lot of people are divorced in there, and people kind of think about their old relationships and everything, and it's really common for people to say, man, I really should have known that this wasn't the right person because of this and this, but then on the other hand, when they were actually in it, and now when they're dating again, it's kind of hard to figure out what should a deal breaker be. You know, like, are you ever going to find the perfect person? Or is that just a myth? Is that just something from really romantic comedies? And so from my perspective, there are different ways to figure this out. And it's really not the sort of thing that you could do with a spreadsheet or a list. I even have a podcast railing against the list, saying that you should not have a long list of requirements in a partner. But on the other hand, of course, people say, well, I didn't have any requirements, and that's why I kind of ended up with the first person who would have me, and that relationship didn't work out. Obviously, there's a middle ground. There is, though, a feeling sort of thing. Do you feel like this is your person, or do you feel like it's your person with some work? Do you feel like this is a good fit as it is, even though there are downsides, or do you feel like there needs to be work done to get it to be a good fit? I guess a good analogy would be, so you have a sweater, and the sweater fits you, but it's not exactly the style that you would choose. Or does the sweater not fit? Is it uncomfortable? Do you feel like you would have to lose weight to fit into the sweater? Or you would have to gain weight to fit into the sweater? Would people associate you with that sweater at all? Or would anybody looking say, that's probably not a good fit, that sweater? Some women in particular, sometimes I'm talking to them when they're talking about like who they're dating, and I'm like, would anybody like link you with this person? You know, it's like let's say a professional woman and she's dating a guy who like can't hold down a job. And I'm like, would anybody think that this is your right fit? Anybody? The rational man standard? Would anybody rational put you with this person? You know, and it's the same kind of thing for like a man who's dating a woman who's, let's say, very dramatic, struggles with addiction, all of these sorts of things, and he's known and respected as this guy that's really on top of his shit. Would anybody link him with this woman? You know, like probably not. Probably nobody would think this is the right fit for you. So those are two different standards. Does it fit how it is, but intellectually you know that it's not perfect? Or does it not fit how it is and you would have to change, or they would have to change to make it fit? And what would a rational person, remember, you got a lot of friends, probably at least a few, some, and you can ask them if it is a good fit. And usually they're right, honestly. Especially if you tell them like the shit that you don't tell them because you don't want them to tell you that it's not the right fit. So for example, the man in that situation, he doesn't tell his friends that his wife has a drinking problem and she screams at him every night, right? Or his girlfriend rather. So of course they think she's great and a lot of fun, but if he told them what it really was, they would say, get out of that. Or the woman in the hypothetical, she tells her girlfriends, oh, he's between jobs, but he's very brilliant. Which, of course, they may know means, oh, he can't hold down a job to save his life. But, they don't say anything. But if she said, I'm concerned because he's lost like 10 jobs in 20 years, well, shit. I mean, they're probably going to say that's not really a good fit with you because you have a job and always have had a job and you're a responsible person. And so let's go back to the sweater thing and to the fit thing. So it's like the sexual compatibility. You could wish, okay, you could have great sex, but like always, sure. I mean, it could be better, right? I mean, I guess, right? It could be better all the time. You could be doing it not with one woman, but with two women, however, you could be doing it not inside, but on the beach, like whatever your thing is. But if it is good, right? It's got to start good. Like dinner. If dinner is good. If it was a good dinner. Is it the best meal you ever had in your life? No. Could you figure out how it could have been even better? Sure. But it was good. There's a lot of people who are trying to make a meal that isn't good into their dinner that they're going to have every day, And it's the elephant in the room. And I talk about the elephant in the room all the time. And it's really an issue of fit. Do you feel like currently this person, even if they didn't change at all, would fit right with you? Yeah, of course they could be better. And you know what? If you're somebody who obsesses over how everybody could be better and everything could be better, that's a you problem and you should go to therapy. It's like your child. There's like so many different ways that you can use to reframe this situation. If you have a bunch of children, right? Some of them you get along with better than others, right? Even if you just have two. You have children where it's a good fit. It's a temperament fit. You could hang out with that child and nothing is anxiety provoking. Then you have another child probably, maybe the one that's become a teenager. And it just doesn't feel like a good fit. It just really doesn't. You're a little anxious. Are you going to say the wrong thing? Or they may be going to say the wrong thing. You don't like to do the same kind of things. You love them because they're your kid, right? But it doesn't feel easy. With your spouse, somebody who you're considering to be your spouse, it should feel easy. Does that mean that they are perfect? Of course they're not perfect. Every woman, she could be a little bit hotter. Every man, he could be a little taller, whatever your thing is, or anybody could make more money. Wouldn't it be wonderful if your spouse just came from billions and intergenerational wealth? That would be great. It would be even better then. But they got to start out as somebody that is good how they are. This is such a deep concept, but yet it's so difficult to explain it without going to these analogies, which is why I like analogies. But it really is almost the basic foundation of how to be in a happy relationship. And all of the people that I deal with that are in unhappy relationships, they wish that they had heeded or known about this fit idea. And they usually came from relationships families where nothing was discussed and the parents' relationship was either openly bad or not discussed. People that come from relationships where the parents seemed like good fits with each other, they usually find a good fit because they know what that looks like. It's easy for their parents to get along with each other. They like to do the same things. Other people with pick them to be together. They are friends first. They don't have any sort of drama or volatile fighting. Their interests align, their values align. They're very similar. They're a unit. People that come from unhappy homes do not see their parents as a unit at all. They see that one is one way and the other parent is the other way, and this is a constant battle for one to make the other one more similar to them or vice versa. And they are constantly in opposition about large issues such as where the kids should go to school or what religion they should be or whether one should stop drinking or, what they should do on vacation or how they should discipline or whatever the case may be. The parents are perceived as people who are trying to change each other. So then when you go out in the world, you think, oh, I find somebody, and then assuming that I'm attracted to them, or, some people don't even assume that. They assume if they're the right religion or whatever. If you give me like a few things that I'm supposed to get, then I can, the work is to change this person. They don't think this, openly. Some of them do. Some of them really do. Some women are like, if he just quit drinking, he'd be the perfect guy. Well, shit, girl, that's a big if. That is a really big if. And if you came from a happy home and your dad wasn't an alcoholic, you wouldn't even say that ridiculous sentence. Of course, ridiculous. I'm not looking down on it. This is, of course, you're going to think like that. So many women, by the way, and I feel like I've mentioned this, but the story of their home life is that their dad quit drinking for their mom. So then what do? Of course, what do? Say it with me. They find an alcoholic and try to make him stop drinking. I've seen this over and over and over. And if an alcoholic is not available, they find a workaholic. They find an exerciseaholic. They find just plain out avoidant attachment that don't want to be with them. Whatever is closest. They grab that poor fuck, right? And then they immediately try to change him. And they're not doing it out of any nefarious motives. This is what they think that love is. Love isn't a good fit, and as it is, love is one person changing for the other person. It's wonderful that man changed. By the way, a lot of those guys in these stories turn into dry drunks and they act terribly, but at least they don't drink anymore. But that part isn't talked about. That, dad didn't drink anymore for mom, but he was a huge fucking asshole, But they don't talk about that part usually. And it's the same thing if mom converted for dad. There are these stories. And if the main story of your parents is that one of them changed for the other, look the fuck out into your own life and your own marriage. Open your eyes, because you probably have been doing this since you started dating. Trying to find somebody that would change for you, that would change for you, that would change for you. And it's hard. It's really hard for somebody to change for another person. It is so much easier and calmer to find somebody that you like and that you love how they are, but that's not even going to appeal to you if you grew up either seeing parents in opposition or with this story of how one of them changed for the other. Now, you could change in little ways, and that's very affirming, to accept influence. Particularly the Gottman research shows that when men accept influence from their female partners, the marriage is happier. So if you really like pickleball and your husband thought pickleball is stupid, and then you say, just try it, sweetheart, and then he likes pickleball, man, you're going to feel good. Great. Wonderful. I'm pleased. But this is not what we're talking about a core change. So if you pick a guy who likes hobbies, work, and not being close to other humans, and then you try to change him into somebody that's going to snuggle with you on the couch every night, you got another thing coming. If you take a woman who thinks that sex is revolting and used purely to procreate, and you're going to try to convince her to be open-minded and free-spirited in bed, please give me a break. So it's not a good fit how it is, and the idea that you have that you are going to be able to change this person and then they'll be a good fit is not good. And there's ways that you can never change somebody, by the way. If these are the ones where it's if they stop doing X, if they stop acting like X, there's people who aren't even attracted to the person. They're like, oh, if he lost a little weight, or no, he's not going to lose a little weight. And if he does, you're not going to like him any better, because a guy that you're really attracted to, you wouldn't have said if he just loses a little weight, X, Y, Z. And the same for women. I hear guys say, oh, if she went to the gym, if she had a gym body. No, it wouldn't change anything for you. If she had a gym body, she would still have the same face, the same attitude, the same sex drive, all of it. It would not change it for you. If you're criticizing somebody's looks and your attraction to them from go, there's more there than you're saying. You're just one of these people that I'm describing that likes to think that they could change people because of how you grew up, and that's your pet fantasy. So, point is use my sweater analogy. Is this a comfortable sweater? Could always be woven out of 14 karat gold and be even better, but is it comfortable? Does it fit you how it is now? If so, good. You'll know it. You'll know it when you feel it. But if it's uncomfortable, or if somebody would say, that's not your kind of sweater, if they knew about it, then it's not. And this is so hard. And this is like work that you should be doing with a therapist if you keep on dating the wrong people one after the other. And I hope that you got a lot out of this. By the way, if you're thinking about breaking up with somebody, we have a breakup group coming. We have 2 good groups coming at Best Life, virtual groups, the Better Breakup and Accountability in the New Year. So I'll link those actually, because those are going to be coming out soon. And I will talk to y'all soon. Have a great day, guys. Bye-bye.